I really genuinely believe that Jesus was black. Like, I was reading the New Testament the other day, and at no point did he swim. You could even say he went out of his way not to swim. Now, some people hear this joke and they think I'm saying black people can't swim. That's racist. That's the furthest thing from the truth. This was the Son of God. If he could come back from the dead, he could definitely backstroke, okay? I think Black Jesus was on that boat, looking down at that water, and he had just got his hair done. Like a hot comb in one hand and the Spirit of the Lord in the other. And he just looked down and he was like, not today, Satan. And he just walked. Hallelujah. Now you're dead. Now you're dead. Now you're dead.
Gosh. You okay?
I just want to talk a little bit about dad jokes. Is that okay? I'm going to do some. Yeah, you know dad jokes, like, pull my finger. Okay, no, don't do that. Could you imagine if it was just an hour of that? That would be terrible. I just wrote one, and I want to do it for you guys, but I want us to kind of like get to know each other first, so is that okay? Yeah. Hell yeah. There's these really good comedians like Jim Gaffigan. Like he has a joke, a hot pocket. That's the whole joke. This man's a multi-millionaire, just theaters. He's like frozen food, and it crushes. I'm not as good as him. If I could be honest with you guys, I'm not as good as him, but I'm trying. So I actually became a full-time comedian this year. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I got fired. I got fired on a Zoom call. You ever get fired and you're not even wearing pants? I asked my boss if I could work from home, and he was like, I'll meet you halfway. He actually invited me to a Zoom one-on-one, and I was expecting to see him, and then I show up and there was one of these liberal ladies on the call. You know these liberal ladies, they always flaunt in their pronouns, like right, she couldn't even spell her, it just said HR. Tell me what kind of jokes I can make in the workplace? Come on. Come on. My boss just went, you're fired, and then bloop, just disappeared right off the Zoom call. I was like, fuck! And then I just hear, hi, I'm Amy. That's a lot to unpack. Let me give you a minute. Dude, Amy was great. Like, if you get fired, ask for Amy. Like, she's incredible. She was like, yo, I want to help you plan out your resume, your career. I was like, I don't know, our podcast is doing pretty well. She's like, the fucking resume, dude. Yeah, she was more concerned about my future than me. I think it's because she wasn't high. It's awkward, right? It's an awkward call. Yeah, so tough times. The economy, I guess, that's what I like to, people are like, why were you fired? I'm like, I don't know, the economy? Just see if that gets me out of the conversation. You should try it sometimes, just if someone asks you a question you don't like. Third divorce, huh, Bill? The economy, you know? Everything's expensive now, like gas is expensive. Gas is so expensive, straight people are rollerblading. I said straights on skates! I don't know, none of this means anything. I'm broke though. I like to Google money sometimes, just to see what it would, like, okay, sometimes I'll be like, how much money should a 34-year-old have? In El Salvador. Don't want to brag, middle class in El Salvador. Yeah. I get stressed. I have vices. Anybody here got vices? Alcohol. Give it up for who likes alcohol. That's a nice little vice. I don't even know if that's a vice, honestly. We sell it here. I'm going to say not a vice. Have fun tonight, guys. Yeah, I got a real vice, though. I wait for my wife to fall asleep, and then I sneak into the other room, and I get on a laptop, and I go on one of those adult websites. Zillow. So much sadder than porn. This is my 30s. Used to be 2 girls, 1 guy. I was like, oh. Now it's 4 beds, 3 beds. I'm like, oh. Oh my God, look at the hardwood floors. I have a problem. Am I the only one? I can't be the only one that's like gotten drunk and then just wasted a realtor's entire weekend. We just show up to a mansion with a slip and slide, and she's like, I don't think you're a serious buyer. And I'm like, in a bathing suit. And I'm like, well, then you're gonna have to drive me home. Because I am drunk. Trying to be a better person. Anybody here trying to be a better person? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I went to my first Pride Parade this year. Pretty gay. Like, I mean, I knew it was gonna be gay when I went, but I thought there'd be like some hot lesbians, like with posters, or like maybe some cool trans people to educate me on the pronouns, right? But no, it's just dudes. Like, okay, so like Pride used to be this important like civil rights thing, and then gay guys were like, no, it's a frat party. No. Like, people were like, we have important issues. And the gay guys were like, yeah, we're trying to fuck. And then they just... Okay, so I'm not complaining. I got a lot of free drinks. I enjoyed it. I was just like, I didn't know that gay guys were basically the straight guys of the LGBT. You guys weren't there, so let me tell you what it was like. Okay, so... The lesbians were marching, they were like, we need better health care. Then the trans people were marching, they were like, we need to use the bathroom, actually. And then the gay guys came out and they were like, legalize ecstasy. I have to do ecstasy in the bathroom like a criminal. And then the trans people were like, is that why I can't use the bathroom? I get it. I started a joke about pride and I have this bigot face and you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I get it. I know how I look, but I am an ally. I'm an ally. I'm trying. It's always funny to me, I'll like meet older people that like are like very anti-gay and they'll come up to me, they'll be like, when I was a kid, we didn't have any gays. How old are you? Because in the 80s, if you went to the bathroom, you had a 50-50 shot to get a blowjob from George Michaels. And Woodstock was pretty freaky. That was in the 70s, 69 technically, nice. And then you go all the way back to 1952, and if you were jamming that in high school, you're like in your late 90s, Pep Hat. And in 1952, you know what the #1 song of the entire summer was? A little song by Elvis Presley called Jailhouse Rock. Let me refresh your memory. Right? Right. Some of y'all you don't listen to rap, so you didn't know what I was saying. So, I'm gonna slow it down, do it again. Okay, here we go. 1952, everyone was just jam-papping, okay? And here was what comes on. Number 37 said to number 3. These are all guys, it's in a prison. You're the cutest jailbird I ever did see. Sure be delighted by your company. So come and do the jailhouse rock. Guys, talk about gay prison sex. There's no time machine that you can hop in to escape the gays. They've been with us the whole time. And that's okay. And that's okay. There's a lot of fear. People want you to be afraid of like things that you don't understand. Like, is anybody afraid of AI? Over here? Okay. Why?
It's going to replace a lot of people's jobs.
It's going to replace a lot of jobs, right? Clap it up. That's a good answer. He participated. Yeah. I think you're a pussy. I'm not afraid of AI. And here's why, okay? It is exactly the same thing as the Mexicans 15 years ago. Yeah, they're like, the Mexicans are going to steal our jobs. And they did get a few of them. But I have bad insurance. I've never gone to the doctor and been like, hey, doc, can you look at my leg? And the doctor's like, oh, no inglés. Not once. I'm not afraid. But what does scare me is one of these days, they're going to invent a Mexican AI. Dios mío. Like you're gonna call an Uber and a robot with a pencil mustache is gonna show up like, and then it's gonna cut your grass, fuck your wife, do your taxes. You're like, God damn! Oh, $4, so it's a pretty good app. Don't love what they did with the lady, but 4 stars. What's it called? IE. We're having fun. If you're wondering what my ethnicity is, I'm Italian, so I'm kind of like a European Mexican. That's how that math goes out. I'm very Italian. My last name is Stramiello. Stramiello, Stramiello. You say that 3 times fast, and an angel actually gets their unibrow. Yeah, I'm such a fake Italian. I just like don't even have an Italian accent. Like even when I'm mocking them, I never really fit in the Italian culture because my dad was the Italian one, but he did like the most Italian thing that you could do when I was growing up, and he went to fucking prison. I remember I was like 4 years old and I wanted to know why, so I was like, Mommy, why did Daddy go away? Oh, honey, because he touched a woman without consent. Mommy, what's consent? Oh my God, you remind me so much of your father. It's tough. It's tough growing up and your dad's a convicted sex offender. But I told you there was going to be dad jokes. I grew up and it was tough because like I had his middle name. So if you Googled my full name, it looked like I was a very busy boy. Like, that sucks. So I started to try to cut it down. I was like, I don't have to be Stramiello. I can be Stram. Stram Show is my Instagram. Stram the Man was my college email address. I just wanted to kind of hide in plain sight because I felt ashamed for something I didn't even do. But you guys are here. You guys are accepting me. Clap it up for yourselves. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't want to brag, but 35, no criminal record. So like, fucking nailed it, dude. Like the bar was so low. My mom is so proud. Like, hell yeah, dude. I was, life is good now though. I was at a Waffle House with a black dude, a Mexican lady, and an Asian guy. And our food came out, and I was just like high on shrooms. And I was like, oh my God, look at how diverse we are right now. Yeah, and they fucking hated that. Yeah, they were like, no, you're not diverse. And I was like, no, I am. I'm a minority. And then my one friend was like, listen, cracker. You can't just be a minority when you want to be a minority. This shit ain't funny. This ain't one of your jokes. I'm a real person. That was the Asian guy. And I said, no, for real, Aquarius. I'm a minority. I am. Like, I didn't know the whole time. Like, I thought I was like a mutt mix of like white and Italian, but then I found out that I'm actually part Arab. Yeah, ew. Yeah, I know. I got a 23andMe test and I did it and I got the results back and I was like, oh shit. I need to go delete some tweets about 9/11. I suddenly have a very nuanced opinion about those boys, you know. Some of them are freedom fighting off. I'm kidding. USA, I really, USA. Give me one, come on, USA. USA. It's enough, it's not a rally. It's crazy too, because like I would never joke about 9/11 actually. I lived in New Jersey, I grew up there, and I actually lost a family member on 9/11, and he was one of the bravest amateur pilots. Yeah, these are jokes, dude, and they're gonna just keep coming. I got so many of these. Dozens. We're having fun. No, but for real though, all jokes aside, I did grow up in New Jersey, and I was like 10 when 9/11 happened, and I heard and repeated some racist shit about Arabs. And I was always worried that that was gonna like come out. And now, it's fucking fine. Can't touch me. It's like a black guy saying the N-word. Well, okay, it's more like Drake. Saying the N-word, you know? He says it, and then you're like, what'd you say, Aubrey? I try not to be a guy that hates a lot, but I do really hate Muslim strippers. Yeah, it's a total waste of 40 rupees. I paid the bitch and then she just wanted to eye fuck me. It's like... I bought a flight to Lahore for this? More like La Prude. A joke's not even offensive. It starts off, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't be a Muslim stripper. You could be Muslim or a stripper. Before I met my wife, I was constantly struggling with relationships. My longest relationship ever was 14 months, and it was with a stripper. Who knew? At around my birthday, she decided to surprise me with a third person. And I did not like him. Nay! Yeah, he was a couples counselor. Wasn't sexual at all. I'm just sitting on this guy's couch, confused, itchy. I had gotten a Brazilian. I did not understand what the person she was had communication issues. I paid $200 an hour to find out that I was the problem in the relationship. Could have told you that for free. Just come to one of my shows, any of them, at any time, and you'd be like, oh, I get it. we're both happier now, and I don't have a single negative thing to say about that ex. Like, it's so weird when you meet someone and they just shit talk their ex. You know what I'm talking about? They're just like, my ex is so dumb and dirty and stupid, and she talks with a limp, and she's got a bumpy pussy, and it's like, okay, Dad. Dad joke number 3. There's a theme. I got married to my beautiful wife. Give it up for my wife. She's fucking incredible. Just putting up with me and all my bullshit. We broke up and we got back together 5 times before we got married. 5 times. It's the most you can count on one hand. Yeah, so when we got married, we couldn't do it in Texas because we had to go to Las Vegas because they have legalized gambling. We went to the Little Elvis Chapel. Do you guys, anybody here white trash, know what I'm talking about? It's just like a trailer on top of a trailer, and then everybody inside of it is, for whatever reason, dressed like Elvis. Everyone, it's like a Chick-fil-A, but instead of saying my pleasure, they're like, thank you very much. So we get there and we walk in to have our first marriage, and we have like 8 really disappointed family members with us, including an aunt who like is a conservative Christian that believes in a white Jesus, and she was like, this isn't the real thing. Whatever, door, shut up, door. And then we go in and we're sitting, and the guy's like, hey, welcome to the Elvis Chapel. What kind of wedding do you want? And I was like, we'll take the cheapest one. And I play blackjack. Like, you don't, okay, so there were all kinds of Elvises there. It was like a whorehouse of Elvises you could pick. Like, they had like a young, hot Elvis dressed in all white, big bulge. They had like an old Elvis who came with a toilet. I don't know who would pick that, but it was historically accurate. And I was like, we'll take the cheapest one. And the guy was like, oh, you don't want the cheapest one. I was like, yeah, let's take it. So we got our first marriage out of the way for $60. Yeah. There's always some divorced people that yell. They're like, yeah, that's a great, fuck yeah, that's a great one. So we're sitting there, the whole family sitting in this little broom closet. No AC, because that was $40 extra. And we're just all waiting like, man, it's kind of backed up. What kind of Elvis do you think we're gonna get for $60? We got an Asian Elvis. Which is fine. You guys don't get it. Okay, so we're just sitting there getting ready to get our first marriage out of the way, and then just like, in comes an Asian Elvis. From here to here, he was Elvis. But then from here to here, he was very Asian. But then from here to here, Elvis again. He fucking nailed the hair. Like, this guy was good at his job. It's kind of racist. He was the cheapest one. You guys don't get it. Okay. I got like 8 pissed off family members. My aunt is really upset. She's like praying to her little white Jesus pen, and then just like, in comes King of Rock, King of Walk. It was just silence. And then I hear my wife go, say something. You say something. No. It's 2023. I'm not going to say how much for a white Elvis. Like, you're not even wearing white, so let's just... Yeah. I do an impression of him.
Do it.
Do it? I was going to do it either way. I'll sit here. And you guys, before I do the joke, don't do it at work. It is why I got fired. I'll sit here. I'll sit here. And another thing to consider. Okay, so Elvis is a white guy who stole a lot of black culture, okay? And then this Asian guy comes in with it, and he's trying to, so it's an Asian guy doing a white guy doing a black guy. And so now I'm gonna come in, and I'm mostly white, little Arab, and I'm just gonna... So if you're offended, who knows? This is an Asian Elvis. I'll sit here. Well, everybody was kung fu fighting. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, cool. I like that joke. I like doing it. I like the feeling. Everyone's like, this is the one that's too far. We know. And then it's like, okay, you got us. There's a few things that I'm super passionate about. I've been sharing with you guys, and I really appreciate this time. One of them is, as a comedian, I get really angry when someone steals jokes. And right now there is a pandemic of comedians from India and Pakistan stealing American comedians' jokes. They'll take a joke in English, and then they'll translate it into IT. And then they just kill, they're just murdering. They're getting millions of followers. They're making hundreds of dollars off of stolen jokes. You guys don't get it. Right now in New Delhi, there's an Indian guy, and he's like, Hot Pockets. That's Jim Gaffigan's joke. Right now in India, there's a guy going, there's two kinds of black people. Pretty white audience, but that's a Chris Rock joke. Pre-slap. So I decided to do something about it, because if there's one thing I am, it's USA. USA, USA, USA. Hell yeah. Because this country has a history of stealing back from Indians. So I got on TikTok and I found an Indian comedian with like 80 followers. I stole his best joke. I just took it in Hindi and then I put it in a chat GPT and I was like, make it speak freedom. And then this, right now, I'm gonna do it for you this one time for my special, is the joke that I stole from him. You guys know how it is when you're going to work, standing on top of a moving train. You're just going to work, trying to get to the call center. You've got a quota, and some homeless guy comes up to you and he's like, can I have 40 rupees? I'm like, what am I, a Muslim stripper? Get away from me, Benchod. And then you just push him away. And then you get to the call center, what are you doing? You're just, you know how it is, just dialing for dollars. You're just ringing for rupees. You're calling everyone's dumbass grandmother in the American Midwest until someone picks up that phone. And then she's like, hello? And you're like, hi, Susan. My name is Steve, and I'm with the IRS, and it says here that if you don't give us $120 worth of Kroger gift cards, we're gonna have to shoot your dog. You know how it is. She's always like, oh no, not Mr. Fluffers, let me get my keys. And then you and the boys are like fucking high five, and you're like, hell yeah, we got another dumb American bitch on the line right now. Muslim strippers on me. And what does this fucking dumb American bitch do? every time she goes down, she buys the gift cards, and you're just like, I don't come, but you edge a little. She's got them in her fucking little diabetic American hands, and then what does this bitch do? She redeems! And you're like, no, don't redeem! No! So you know how it is. Going to work, coming home, 14-hour day, didn't make any money. Going home to your do nothing wife. What has she done all day? Nothing. Made no money, get home, you walk in and the floor is just filthy. So you're like, woman, why didn't you clean? And she's like, I did clean. You're like, no, look at this floor, it's filthy. And she has the balls to say to me, it's made of dirt. I just break down, I say, honey, I'm sorry. This isn't me. I've been so stressed at work and I didn't make any money and I'm tired of scamming. I'm tired of lying. I want to do it right. I want to stay up all night and learn how to video edit until I get good enough to get an H-1B visa and we can go to fucking America. And my wife, she looks at me and she says, oh, Arslan, you are a good man. I did not choose to be married to you, but I do choose to stay. We are in this together. And she holds me, and I feel love, and shame, and hope. What is that beautiful smell? And my wife says, oh, I made Hot Pocket. Whatever. One dad joke. My dad is dead, so good news there. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how he died. Before he died, my dad always, he said he was like a picture. He was innocent, he had been framed. Yeah. My dad died of stage 4 liver cancer in New Jersey in a prison. And we were in Arkansas about 14 years ago. And my mom gets a phone call from the doctor, and the doctor's like, I'm sorry, but your husband only has months to live. He has stage 3 liver cancer. And my mom said, call me back when it's stage 4, we're broke. And she just hung up the phone. Didn't have money to just go to New Jersey and hope that a guy dies. We gotta see it. So a couple months go by and the doctor calls and he's like, I'm sorry, your husband has days to live. And my mom was like, now! And we got plane tickets on a credit card and we got a hotel for 2 nights and we went to watch my father die. Yeah. My dad did go to prison for rape and it fucked up my entire childhood, but he was still my dad, so it's okay if you guys are uncomfortable. I was fucking uncomfortable. It's like, how happy or sad should I be? I want to be a good person in this moment. And we walked into the hospital room, and my dad had always scared me my entire life, and he wasn't in there because the cancer had just eaten away at him until he was like 120 pounds. They still had him shackled. And it was a nurse's request. And so my mom, my brother, and I, we walked in to say goodbye to this pain that we had carried for so long. But in that moment, in that day, when I walked in, he was just so alone. I felt bad for him, like his lips were cracked. Like they wouldn't even give him water, so I took some water and I gave it to him and he cheered up a little. And we told stories, and we laughed and we cried. We said everything we had to say, and it was beautiful. But he didn't die that day. So we had this awkward walk back to the elevator on the first day. And the elevator door closes. Perfect. Dad? Just ignore that. If we all die, it's a good joke. You want to hear the end of it. The elevator door closes, and my brother looks at me. Is it like a tornado or like a missing kid? Missing kid?
Bad joke alert.
I'm really happy because we're like 50 minutes in. That's the first time that black table is heckled, so I consider this a win. If anything, that's a fucking badge of approval. Thank you. I bought myself some time with Black Jesus. You guys were like, we're gonna let him. Then started this joke and you're like, just fucking kill his dad already if I have to do it myself. All right, so I got in the elevator after the first day, and my little brother looks at me and he says, yo, that's like the first time I felt like I could beat dad up. I looked at him and I was like, dude, me too. But I really hope he dies tomorrow. My mom was like, yeah, that would be best, that would be best. So that first day was beautiful, but we showed up that second day, and it was like, are you gonna go before lunch or after lunch? The juice box and the orange slices are pretty rough, so if you could, we'd already said everything there was to say, so at that point, it was just Judge Judy reruns. And then and then beep, beep, beep. The one time it could have gone off and 3,600 beeps in an hour is pretty fucking annoying for a guy that's just every time it's like, I'm still alive, I'm still alive. And then at 1:37 p.m. Eastern, my dad Tom had the nerve to be like, can I have some water? I'm like, no! We're on the clock! Why won't you just fucking die? I want you to go. I'm tired of looking at it. You've been a pain my entire life. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I just don't want to look at you anymore. I want it to be over. He lived for 3 more months. We flew back to Arkansas, and so much time had gone by that I forgot he was dying, if I'm being honest. I got a phone call and I answered it, and it was like, you have a collect call from prison inmate. Tom! I was like, all right. And I answered the phone, and my dad was so weak, the cancer had broken this man so much that his voice was faint. I had to really press the phone in to hear it, but his last words to me were, Hot Pocket. One dad joke, that's all I wanted to tell. If there's a message, okay. Yeah. If there's a message here that I want to tell you guys, I want to say that, look, I don't care if you believe in a black Jesus, right? Or you just think he has a tan, okay? I don't care if you marched in your first gay pride parade this year, or maybe this was the first year that you didn't throw rocks at one, sir. I don't care if you're a Muslim or a stripper. I believe that we can get better, and so I want to tell you guys what I would tell myself if I could, a little kid that's ashamed of what he's done or what his dad did, looking in a mirror, hate in the eyes that he sees, thinking he should change his name. I would tell that boy that you don't have to change your name. You can change what it means. My name is Joshua Thomas Stramiello. And I'm so excited about what we're all gonna do next. Thank you guys, I love you.